Hello, in this video I will show you how a Python installation should be done and how it works. I'm working on a Windows machine, so things may be a bit different if you're on a Linux machine or a Mac machine. And again, if you have troubles to install Python on your computer, you can find multiple tutorials, but let me start to show you how it works. So let's say you don't have Python. Obviously I do have Python installed on my computer. If I type Python, I can see it's 3.10. There are different versions. Let me find what is the current version. Now the latest version is 3.12, so I'm not that behind. Let me just check. I'm not that behind. I'm 3.6, so I'm probably a couple of months behind. Let's quickly check Wikipedia. 3.2, so that was 54 days ago, but I'm probably behind. Anyway, so the thing is very simple. When we type Python here, it's very straightforward. You can go directly to downloads, and here we have, so I have 3.10, which is as of 2021. Well, actually it is a bit old, but as the updates are only once a year, so I am 2 years behind now. But in this case I actually like being on 3.10 because the maintenance status, it says security, so we are not in the so this is good. These versions are under bug fix, so I don't want to use them. So as you can see, you can download it. Well, you can download previous releases. I have the release 3.10. So how does it work? We have Windows, Mac OS, other platforms. So for Windows, I assume you just click here. Well, Linux, Mac OS, other. If you are on a Windows, probably you should download 3.10, not 3.12, but I don't believe that's very important in these scenarios. Here is 3.10, you can download. For a Mac, you go here. So you have the 3.10 stable release of a Mac. And then you have pre-releases. I don't advise you to download pre-releases, always download stable ones. And make sure that if you're running a Mac with M1 or M2 chips, make sure that it's compatible. I assume it is. I used to have a Mac M1s, but I'm not really a big Mac expert, but I believe it will work. Again, so once you download and install, you should have in your system a Mac now working. You can see here I have Python 3, a Python version working here. So whenever I tap Python here, I have my Python and I can do 1 + 1. It says 2. So I have a Python working version on my computer. Well, the installation is obviously very straightforward. You just install some on your local system. There's something else. If you want to install libraries on a Python machine with Windows, you have to open your CMD and then type here pip3 install, and then you type your library name, let's say pandas. Alright, here in this case it will probably say that I already have it, maybe not the latest version, but I do have it. Pip should be automatically with your Python installation. If it's not, something went wrong, again you can quickly double check online, but this is how a correct Python installation looks on a Windows machine. In case you have any questions about this, you can always send me a message and I'll be more than happy to reply. I don't believe this will be a problem for you. Make sure that you don't have an old installation of Python somewhere on your computer. If you do, maybe you have a 2.71, maybe some very old. Double check that. If you do have it, but you want to, and you haven't used it for a year or two, maybe I would advise you to delete everything you have, delete all the old versions, then reboot your computer and then only start to install your Python installation. Here I want to show you how to download and install R on your system. I am on a Windows machine, so things may be different for you if you're on a Mac and sometimes on Linux. Although I had a Mac in the past, I had an M1 cheap Mac and everything was very straightforward. So follow me, and these are the things you need to know when you want to download and install R. By the way, R is not RStudio. RStudio is your environment, it's your interface, and R is the actual programming language. I'll show you this in the next lecture as well. So first thing you want to do is double check if you have an R installation. if I do R, well, 3.4. Yeah, I have a R for 4.3.2 right now installed on my computer. You can see it's here, but you may have a 3 point something. Double check if you do. You see it doesn't have it. I used to have this one, but I don't have it anymore. So R.4.3.2, I do have it. This is how R looks. This is how R was designed. It was designed by computer scientists and actual scientists, people working with statistics and data science. Well, back in the day it wasn't called data science, and it wasn't really focused on interface. The graphs were primitive, but the engine behind it, the computation engine is very powerful. It allows to do many statistical and data analysis just with base R without any packages. So this is how R looks, and this is where the packages are. You can even load a package by finding it in the list. And well, these are all the packages I have installed, but you can also install packages here. So base R wasn't that bad. Let's pick, I don't know, Australia, doesn't matter. And once it connects to the library, I can pick one of the 10,000 packages that exist. But let's understand how to download it. By the way, if you are downloading the first time your RStudio, this is this is very straightforward. But if you already had R in the past, maybe a couple of years ago, and you don't even know what your current version is, I would advise you to, before starting installing this, to delete everything you had in the past. Delete the old versions, delete the corrupt versions, and start from scratch. So how do you do this? We just do download R, and this will bring us, the very first link is the one we need. We just click, well, in this case it says Windows. If you don't want the Windows version, well, obviously with R, you just go and you download the latest version. This is a bit different for Python. Python has many bugs fixed version. R is different, so you can straight away go and download the latest version. Don't worry about this. But this is not what we want because it says directly for Windows. Probably when you're on a Mac, it will bring you the link of a Mac. So let's go to the rproject.org, the official website. Here we have different versions, and I'm using version 4.3.2. There is a, oh, by the way, there is a new version scheduled in April for 4.4. So I'm using this version, which is not that old. So what do? You go here on downloads, you run. You pick a cloud, doesn't matter. You pick a country which is close to you. I'll click on Austria, and here you have for Linux, macOS, and Windows. Many people use it on Linux for servers and even on desktop. Well, for Windows, this is straightforward. You go here, you click on base, and this is your link. You have other versions, but you need the base version. And this is your link. You double click and you install this on your system. For macOS, again here, make sure that you have the correct version. If you're on an M1 chip, M1, M2, M3, this is what you need. For older Macs, this is what you need. I used to have an M1 Mac, and back in the day it wasn't compatible yet. It was 3 years ago, I think. Now it is compatible and pretty fast from what I heard. But back in the day I wasn't happy because it was still the Intel, there was a software that was connecting M1 to Intel anyway. So without getting into details, this is what you install. For Linux, well, you have Ubuntu, which is the main one. You have all the commands here. You also have other distributions, but I don't believe many people are using Ubuntu as their main desktop. I tried, I didn't like it, my personal opinion. Alright, so once you install it and the installation is done, you will have, if you do this, you should find it on a Windows machine. On a Mac, it should be very simple as well. In your app search, you should be able to find your R installation, find it. It will come without any packages. Don't worry about that. And it will look like this. So you can go quickly and install a package. For instance, I do install, well, if you start with a fresh R installation, don't forget to install the packages you will need to work. So for instance, let's go for the package. Well, I don't like using the interface. I'd rather do this and install packages. Let's say zoo. This is a package for time series analysis. This will take, well, I already have this, so it will double check if I have the latest one or not. Done. If you install this the first time, it may take a bit more time. But this is how you install R. This is how R looks. This is not RStudio. How to use Copilot and ChatGPT in R to build some graphs. We will try to build some bar charts and line charts, maybe even some pie charts. Let's see. Let's see how Copilot and ChatGPT can help us and how easy it is. I have here some data. You may have already seen this from the lessons on regressions and the lesson on how to load the data. And here I added a dummy column with the date, and this will be used for plots. So let's say we want to plot the date and the performance index as for instance, on every month we want to plot the average index and see if there is a significance or not. Obviously there won't be because this is random, but the point here is to plot some graphs. So let's exit this. I was doing some regression analysis before. Let's go to visualize graph and start an R script, script.r. All right. Let's move the working directory to this folder. Visualize graph, set the work. So if we do get wd, we are in this folder. So step one, let's start with Copilot and then use ChatGPT. So load CSV data is this. All right. Let's look at the data. So this is not a date. So we can do, let's load, let's say convert date into date format. All right. Now, aggregate performance index by month as average. Let's see if Copilot can do this. All right, it's using a base R, and we have data here. For each month we have a value. All right, we can also use dplyr, which I prefer, and we can do data2 is, no, not this. Let's do this. Group by. Oh, actually, let's do mutate. Let's mutate the columns date into. Let's convert the date. Then we need find month. Mutate month. All right. Summarize. All right, this is also not bad. I like dplyr, but what went wrong? Oh, okay. We need to summarize this by month. Okay. Summarizing. All right. Something went wrong. Let me see. This is strange. I can do group by month, summarize, and now we have, okay, we have the same table. This is equivalent to this. Now let's plot a line chart. Okay, ggplot2, perfect. This is just amazing. So what went wrong here? So we have, we need a group here. So I know we need a group, but Copilot wasn't smart enough to do this. Why not? line chart. Let's see if it's smart enough to do this time. No, it's not smart enough. Here we need to say group is equal to 1. And then we have the line. As you can see, it's not perfect. It's good enough, but it's not perfect. Let's now do a bar chart. This should work fairly easy. And let's do pie chart. Pie chart of performance. Well, it's pie chart of, let's be more precise. Alright. This should be working as well. Or not. No, it works. I hate pie charts, so I will delete this. Okay, so you can see we are pretty good. We can say, let's say we want to change the color. So this is the line, color, line, color, red. Okay. Scale call. I think it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. I know how to do this, but it's not working. Line color red. It's not working. Let's see here. Bar color red. The fill will work. No, still not working. As you can see, it's not working sometimes. Copilot is not perfect. But for instance, if we want to say, what else we can change? We can change font color blue. Let's say if this works. Yeah, this works. I mean, you can see that we can do some stuff, but Copilot is not that perfect to do charts. Now let's do ChatGPT, which should be much better. Script 2. So let's copy this. Let's copy this and say based on the data, write an R script to read the CSV with that data and plot a line chart where the line is red. Let's see if ChatGPT is smart enough. Okay, let's see. So we will copy this. ChatGPT is sometimes much smarter than Copilot. Copilot is more of an aid. So this is good. And if we do this, not good. Well, not good because we obviously need to do this thing before. We need to aggregate for each month. So it says date is not found. What's wrong? Oh, it has to be month here. All right. Oh, and again, it forgot the group. Interesting. It forgot the group, which is not supposed to. Let's do this. Let's ask ChatGPT what to do. We copy this and we ask, what should we do? So yeah, our ChatGPT is really smart. It knows that it has to be group equal 1. Perfect. And now let's make a bit of a complicated chart. Let's say, what else do we have? I have an idea. Well, this will require a bit of pivoting. Actually, no, this is good enough. We can also ask now plot a bar chart where each bar is of a different color. All right, let's see what happens. We will copy this and we have to just change this by month. So let's restart this and this should be working, I think. Yeah, this is nice. Of course, this is ugly. Let's use Copilot to fix this. Rename legends title. Okay. Beautiful. As you can see, if you use both tools at the same time, you get the most efficiency. And I hope you really like this lesson. This is me actually doing some actual work, not trying to show you the best academic tutorial, but to show you how a programmer works, and a programmer uses all these AI tools, all these GPT tools to make the work as easy as possible. So someone who never programmed in R can just copy this, do what I did right now, and have a nice chart in less than 5-10 minutes. How to visualize data using Python, Copilot, and ChatGPT. I just did the exercise in R. Copilot was somewhat helpful. ChatGPT was very helpful. Let's check this with Python. So the data looks like this. We have the data in the column A and the performance index in the column G. So the goal is to plot the average score for each month. So first of all, let's load the data. Let's start a quick script in Python. Where is it? So let's start a script, and we will try to use Copilot. With R, Copilot was very good, but not as good as ChatGPT. So first thing we do is load data. Data is, and we need pandas. All right, let's load this. We have data, and now we have some old variables in the environment. Okay. Now, next thing we want to do is data columns, I think, for the names. Let's say we plot, let's compute first. Compute average performance index per month. All right. Let's see what happens. So we do data2 is not working. I want this to work. I want this to work directly without me typing anything. Compute month based on date. So let's look at data month. Okay, and if we do this, it should have only 12 variables. Okay, this is good. Now we want to do plot a line chart where X is month, Y is performance index. Okay, I may not have it. Okay, let me quickly install this. Okay, while it's installing, so here my main objective is to type as little code as possible. I want ChatGPT, I want Copilot to do the work for me. I am a beginner, I'm just learning Python, imagine, but I have some background in Python, but I'm not an expert in Python. I'm a very strong expert in R, in data science. I understand data science. When I read this, I can understand this code. It's very similar to R, but I don't know the syntax very well, so Copilot is really helping me in this case. So we have this. Now the next line is, all right, we have our plot. We have to do this now. PLT show. Okay, beautiful chart. Now change line to red. And we need to show, yeah. Actually, let's do this, yeah. Let's see what it suggests. There is even a marker. Cool. Copilot wasn't that helpful in R, which is normal, I think. Python has more, but Copilot was suggesting directly a nice plot with titles. Now, the next thing I want to do is plot a bar chart. Let's see how a bar chart looks. Let's show no markers, each bar different color. Let's see. We don't. This is not enough colors. Okay, so we need to reset the plot somewhere here. Reset plot. how do I do this? Because if I do this, it still contains the old plot. And again, this is me not knowing how to do this in Python. Delete plot from memory. I don't know how it works. No, I don't know. Let's see if it will be plotting the line again. Okay, this is good. This was the command. So now we have this bar plot. Now let's do the same in with ChatGPT. So let's start a script too. And we will do the same thing we did in R. We'll copy this, and say, no, this is not what I want. I want to copy this. And this. Okay. Based on the data above, write a Python script which will load the CSV, compute the month for each date, compute the average performance index. I'm going to keep this typo as it is. Plot a line chart with markers in green. Let's see. I think this should be working just perfect, but let's have a look. Okay, we have the libraries. This looks really good. Okay, this looks really good. Let's copy this. Let's copy this. Okay, let's try it. Let's start. All good. As you can see, I'm not even reading the code. I'm just running this. What is this? Perfect. Where's the chart? Okay, something is wrong, I believe. Plots. Let's clear. Let's see. Yeah, this is nice. Again, it did some ticks, it did some additions. As you can see, GPT is sometimes very smart and added titles and subtitles here. I mean, it was also suggesting to add titles. All you need to do is just space tab, or enter tab. So enter tab, enter tab, enter tab. All right, in this lesson, as you can see, we just did some visualization with close to zero knowledge of Python. For instance, here I was struggling with this kind of codes, and I have no idea of the syntax, and I just learned on the spot by using GPT, using Copilot, and plotting some data I need. It also did some averaging, and by the way, this is interesting. Copilot used this syntax for grouping, and GPT first converted this to date and then used this syntax. This is more accurate because here it did not know what it did convert it to a date, but here we can specify whether it's month, date, or year, or the opposite. Again, thank you very much for watching this lesson. I hope this was helpful. As usual, don't forget to like this lesson, rate it, and if you have any questions, join the chat and ask us questions. Bye.